Okay. Let me see how we're set up to do things here. Have to make sure I'm on the right microphone sources as well. And let's, um, okay. Okay. So all looks right. My OBS here is not typically set up for the streaming and everything. And let me get over to the YouTube studio side. Well, greetings to the to a couple people that are tuned in. I apologize for the late notice and actually being very late um, to get this started this morning. But that's a little bit of the story of my life recently. So um, just getting up late, a little bit late this morning, and realizing I did have the stream scheduled. I thought, well, I'll go down. I had to go down and get my Anchor headset, and I don't really have my studio otherwise geared up for um, doing any sort of live stream right now. So I thought, well, this is going to be the place. So I'm just going through um, and providing a little bit of an update. I don't plan to be too long. I again, thanks for people to the patience and in waiting for the stream to start this morning. The uh, for my health issues, I now have a pacemaker, and I've had that a week now. I have not taken it as easy as I should have within this last week, and um, that's a little bit of today where it's hitting me to just take it down a level. I mean, I've gone into the office um, and otherwise I've not been too physically active, but I've got to make sure that I have the proper care of myself and allow myself to recuperate. A pacemaker, and this is a relatively routine procedure nowadays for people. It deals with it helps to correct the bradycardia, which is my low pulse rate below 60, in particular at night when I'm lying down, my pulse rate dropping, and even having what they call heart pauses, or a time that the heart is not beating. And thankfully, with those have been very few with me, and the segments that the times that has happened have been very few. It's been very short um, pauses, and so with the pacemaker, I'm doing a lot better. It's just that reassurance um, that my heart will be paced at a particular rate. I tend to think it as a minimum clocking in the computer world. So I'm saying, the minimum frequency that you can go down to, and it's set a little bit below um, 60 beats per minute. I'll find out how that's tuned when I get a checkup here in this next month, early on the next month. There's a lot of other things that are happening otherwise, and I need to get on the comment stream. And yes, thank you, Hugh, for saying I look good. I've gone through. I've of course still growing the beard. The There's going to be some other news of the other events that are happening. Is that the beard is actually going to come off here soon, within the next couple weeks, because I'm doing a military retirement ceremony, and of course I'm trying to get the Navy to get the appropriate personnel here to my location to do that. But it's one of the things that is finally wrapping up a little bit of the time that I had in both the Army and the Navy to complete that. So not necessarily computer related, but going through to where um, I'll have that and able to go through and list the RET after my name that I'm retired, and also that I'll have that IT identifier for information technology in my retired military title. So that's something I've been waiting for a matter of years, and it's finally come to the culmination to where it's going to happen. I do. The reason the beard comes off is I'm actually going into with the dress uniform, and while you're in a military dress uniform, you have to conform to weight standards and to grooming standards. You can't have this excessive facial hair like I do, and uh, so that's actually a good thing for the beard getting shaved off for that, and getting in uniform, squeezing into that uniform. It'll be interesting. So the main thought of the pacemaker, and as I say, these are become relatively routine, almost like a assembly line for the people that they have lined up and do. Probably the majority is dealing with the bradycardia. They're trying to go through and improve people's way of life by having that higher pulse rate, not having the pauses and things like that of their heart. In some cases, people are 100% paced, meaning that pacemaker is effectively beating for their heart, keeping their heart going. Um, and it's just a relatively small device. It's implanted beneath the skin and has leads that go down into the chambers of the heart. Uh, that can be two leads or a matter of three leads. I have a two lead pacemaker, and so the with that implant for the next 4 to 6 weeks, and as I say, I'm a week out, so um, it goes through, and I'm a left-handed person. It's right beneath the skin here, and I'm not supposed to lift weights, and also really to raise the arm above where you have the elbow above shoulder height, and you're just trying to not stress this area and pull the leads out of the pacemaker side where they're plugged in. So um, that's just something I have to get used to. And taking it easy, it of course prevents me from going through and being as active as I would like sometimes and moving stuff around. But it's just something I have to observe and enough for my body to take it a little bit easy. Um, and just having the pacemaker is a little bit of a reassurance. And I know that uh, others, I mean, I had effectively my scares, as it were, as well, or my notifications that it was just something that I had to deal with. I had a loop implant recorder, which has now been pulled out, and that diagnosed that I was of the level to get a pacemaker. So I'm grateful for that. So yeah, I apologize to you for not really giving a whole bunch of notice, in particular on YouTube, um, to what's going on or anything like that. I've had the GoFundMe running, and that's really a minor aspect because my insurance has been very good and taking care of things. And there's just actually some very incidental expenses, and even some of that has been covered. People have been contributing to my fundraiser, so I'm thankful for that. Um, I also have help from my local VFW, the Veterans for Foreign Wars post that I'm a life member of, and in helping me with dealing with some of the travel and lodging cost that I had to incur for getting the pacemaker, traveling to a location to a bigger place to get it implanted. So um, I'll try and be a little bit more vocal maybe in the future, and letting people know. I realize that not a lot of people are, or there are some people that are not on Facebook that really that tends to be the place where I'm a little bit active among all the other social media, for better or for worse. I don't like necessarily being on Facebook a lot of the time, but I'm doing well and I'm recovering, and I I expect to go through and to be able to jump back into the game and actually do videos. It's I think it's probably the goal to set is 2025 at this point. It's not going to be anything in the last couple months for 2024, but I think I'll be able to gear up and get into start doing videos in 2025 again, including the live streams, and also some videos otherwise. There's been a lot of back channel work on aspects, in particular to some of the token ring stuff that I've been working on, and the functionality called the remote initial program load, the Ripple functionality, and that I in particular have been working on and learning things on. There's other things with the system configuration process, in particular dealing with IBM SCSI, that is being resolved, and we're really hoping for a means to go through, in particular to the PS2s, to perform that configuration over a network connection to a device, effectively a server that can go through and set the machine up without necessarily having to have local drives, that those diskette drives that fail, those hard drives that even fail, um, and even taking just a little bit of that process, that offloading that the configuration routine to a setup that is used to doing that sort of arrangement, and then in normal occasions also providing that device, providing connectivity to the internet and doing uh, the kind of the proxy related stuff for the internet connectivity. So there's a lot of material that's going to be bubbling up in particular to the token ring stuff. I've gone through and analyzed the chips, the ASICs, the that IBM used, and that just means an integrated chip that all the functions of the adapter are are from within a particular centralized chip that handles a lot of the functionality those adapters. And it's kind of neat for the, the ASIC that IBM ended up with. They started on the microchannel adapters to have what they called the spyglass level ASIC that it still needed a microchannel interface chip alongside it to interface to the bus. And that was the instance where you had the separate microcode ROMs, and then you had, if you were going to do that ripple process, that network boot, you had to have the EEPROM in placed in an empty socket. And on the next iteration of that adapter, IBM designed what they called the Pine Grove, was the code name of that chip, and went through to where the ripple code to do that network boot is combined with the microcode. So you only still have the two EEPROMs on the adapter. You don't have a separate socket for that network boot. And it's even funny in a way that process of the remote booting, the network boot, can't even be disabled for part of that. It goes through to where it copies over code from those EEPROMs to the system memory space to have the ability to network boot. So kind of a neat little concept, as it were. And of course, with I've gone through the analysis of, there's a lot more of the versions of that network boot code as well that I'm analyzing and figuring out. So that's going to be one of the things I'm going to I'll try and go through. I do plan to go through and be a little bit more edit my videos that would be coming up, and a little bit more professional in this case. I'll still have the live streams where I'll be a little bit more off the cuff and everything else. But maybe I can go through and use the abilities to go through and and edit the video content that I produce a little bit more, and provide some information that people can look at and be entertained with. So that's some of the stuff that's coming up. I do thank people for keeping me in their thoughts, and being curious for exactly what I'm experiencing, since there's been notifications, of course, over this last year about me having some health effects, even to the effect of I've also seen quite a bit of other YouTubers affected with health concerns and things like that too. So I know that they're trying to keep people updated to what exactly they're going through. And this is just a notification, in particular, what I experienced for often this is just stubborn men that this happens to, but going through and not having a primary care physician, not going through and getting physicals, getting diagnostic tests running to figure out how they're doing. Men just have those pains and things like that that they ignore in this case. Women can be a little bit better in checking up on their health a lot of time, but it's important for just everyone to be aware of what they're going through, gain a doctor that they respect and is able to diagnose some symptoms that they may be experiencing, to just know what you're going through mentally and physically. That can include also therapists to go through and to get in the right place with their mental health, and that they're taking care of themselves. That we can go through and have as much enjoyment in living life as possible, doing the things that we want to do. So I'm going to go through. I also apologize a little bit for the short stream and everything else, in particular with the lateness of getting in here, getting something set up, kind of having a ad hoc studio, as it were. But it's just some of the things I had to fall back on to be able to run a live stream. So I do want to thank everyone for tuning in and kind of getting the interest in learning what's going on with me. And I look forward to seeing everyone soon in more live streams and videos as we kind of progress through this. But that's all I have for now. This is IBM Museum. Thank you.